If I ask you a simple question today, what is your value? Some will think of money, some will think of beauty, some will think of followers, likes, or status. We'll think of money, some of beauty, some of status, achievements, or how many people know their name. But imagine for a moment that all of this disappears: the titles, the filters, the applause, the comfort. When the noise settles and the stage becomes empty, what still remains within you? That answer is your real value. And in 2026, in a world that is moving faster than our emotions can process and louder than our hearts can speak, being a high-value woman will have very little to do with perfection and everything to do with being rooted. A high-value woman is not manufactured by society's expectations. She is shaped quietly by her daily choices. She knows who she is even when no one is watching. She does not borrow her identity from trends or compare her journey with someone else's highlight reel. She spends time understanding her own heart, her strengths, her fears, and her dreams, because when you don't define your worth, the world will do it for you, and the world often gives discounts to priceless souls. Life will challenge her. People will misunderstand her intentions. Plans will collapse without warning. Hearts will be tested. Yet she learns a gentle but powerful skill, mastering her emotions instead of becoming their servant. She pauses before reacting. She listens before judging. She chooses calm when chaos demands drama. Anyone can raise their voice, very few can lower their ego. And in a world addicted to noise, silence filled with wisdom becomes a rare kind of strength. She also understands that motivation is unreliable. Some days it arrives, some days it doesn't. So she builds discipline instead. She keeps her promises to herself even when nobody is clapping. She shows up when it is boring, when it is tiring, when the results are invisible. Small habits, practiced daily, quietly construct a strong future. Talent may open doors, but consistency decides how long you stay inside. She respects others, but she respects herself more. She learns to say no without anger and yes without fear. She gives love generously, but never at the cost of her dignity. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to her time, her energy, or her heart. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors with wisdom deciding who may enter. And above all, she lives for meaning, not for approval. She is more interested in growth than in applause, more focused on depth than on display. She knows that beauty fades, trends expire, and popularity changes addresses. But character compounds silently like interest in a hidden account. So if you wish to become a high-value woman in 2026, do not begin by changing your appearance. Begin by strengthening your awareness. Do not upgrade only your lifestyle, upgrade your thinking. Do not wait for someone to choose you. Choose yourself with patience, courage, and kindness every single day. Diamonds are not precious because they shine because they survived pressure. In the same way, allow life to polish you, not break you. Become so strong within that storms learn to pass respectfully around your silence. That quiet strength, that steady self-respect, that peaceful confidence, this is true value. When people hear the words high value, they often imagine luxury, confidence on display, or a life that looks impressive from the outside. But real value is not something you wear, it is something you become. It is built quietly, layer by layer, through the way you think, the way you treat people, and the way you treat yourself when no one is watching. In 2026, when technology will move faster than emotions and opinions will travel quicker than truth, inner stability will become a rare treasure. A high-value woman begins her journey by understanding her own mind. She does not allow every thought to rent space in her head. She observes her fears, her anger, her doubts, and gently asks, is this helping me grow, or is this only making me heavy? When you learn to manage your mind, you stop being a prisoner of circumstances. You become the driver of your direction, and that shift alone changes the quality of every relationship and every decision. She also learns the art of responding instead of reacting. Someone may speak harshly, but she does not return the same language. Someone may disappoint her, but she does not allow bitterness to become her personality. She understands that people can hurt you, but they do not get permission to shape who you become. Strength is not loud. Strength is calm. It listens, learns, and then chooses the higher road even when the lower one is easier. Discipline becomes her quiet companion. She does not wait for the perfect mood to improve her life. She studies when it is dull, works when it is tiring, and grows even when progress feels slow. She knows that success is not one dramatic moment, but thousands of ordinary moments done with sincerity. While others look for shortcuts, she builds foundations. And foundations may not be visible, but they hold everything steady when storms arrive. She values her time and energy as sacred resources. She does not waste hours trying to convince people of her worth. She invests that time in learning, healing, improving, and serving. She gives love, but she does not beg for it. She helps others, but she does not abandon herself. Boundaries for her are not about distance, they are about dignity. Most importantly, she chooses purpose over applause. She may walk alone at times, misunderstood and uncelebrated, but her conscience remains light and her sleep remains peaceful. She knows that temporary attention cannot replace long-term fulfillment. When her actions align with her values, confidence becomes natural. It no longer needs to be announced. If you want to grow into this version of yourself, begin gently. Speak kindly to your own heart. Forgive your past without building a home in it. Learn one new thing every day. Improve one small habit at a time. Protect your peace like a priceless jewel. The world will always try to measure you with numbers, labels, and opinions. Let it. You continue measuring yourself by your integrity, your effort, and your ability to remain kind in a difficult world. That kind of value cannot be copied, stolen, or replaced. It is built slowly, silently, and it stays with you wherever life takes you. In a world that constantly tells you to prove your worth, it is easy to forget that true value is not something you perform for others. It is something you practice with yourself. Many people live as if life is a stage, always adjusting their expressions to please the audience. But peace does not come from being impressive. Peace comes from being authentic. And in the coming years, when competition will be louder and comparisons more tempting, authenticity will become one of the rarest forms of strength. A high-value woman begins by building a peaceful relationship with her own mind. She understands that not every thought deserves belief, and not every emotion deserves control over her actions. Some days her mind will create storms out of small clouds. Instead of fighting herself, she learns to observe, to breathe, to step back. Slowly she becomes her own anchor. When the world shakes, she does not fall apart because she has learned how to hold herself together. She also accepts that growth is uncomfortable. Comfort promises safety, but it quietly steals potential. So she chooses effort over ease. She reads when scrolling would be simpler. She rests when guilt tells her to overwork. She improves one small habit at a time, understanding that transformation is not loud or dramatic, it is silent and steady. While others chase overnight success, she respects the power of slow progress. Her strength is visible in the way she handles people. When someone disagrees, she does not feel threatened. When someone succeeds, she does not feel diminished. She celebrates without jealousy and corrects without cruelty. She knows that insecurity makes people competitive, but self-respect makes them collaborative. By choosing maturity over ego, she protects her peace and her relationships at the same time. She is careful about what she allows into her life, not just people, but also thoughts, content, and conversations. She understands that whatever enters the mind eventually shapes the heart. So she feeds herself with learning, reflection, and meaningful connections. Noise may surround her, but it does not live inside her. When she loves deeply, but she does not disappear. When she helps, she gives sincerely. But she does not exhaust herself to earn appreciation. She understands that her value does not increase when others approve, and it does not decrease when they misunderstand. This inner independence becomes her quiet confidence. As the world moves into 2026, more people will become skilled faster and smarter, but very few will become wiser. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, when to hold on and when to let go, when to push forward and when to pause. This balance becomes her signature. If you wish to become such a woman, do not rush the process. Rivers do not become deep by running fast, they become deep by flowing consistently. Be patient with your mistakes, be strict with your values, be gentle with your heart. Let the world chase speed. You chase depth. Let others collect applause. You collect peace. Over time, you will realize that the strongest kind of confidence is not seen in how loudly you announce yourself, but in how calmly you live your truth. That calmness, built day by day, becomes your greatest wealth, quiet, steady, and unshakable. In today's world, many people are busy upgrading their lives, but very few are upgrading their inner world. Phones become smarter every year, homes become bigger, and schedules become fuller, yet hearts often become more tired. A high-value woman understands that success on the outside means very little if there is chaos on the inside. So before trying to conquer the world, she learns to understand herself. She pays attention to her thoughts, because she knows that every action begins there. If the mind is always complaining, life will feel heavy. If the mind is always comparing, peace will feel distant. Instead of fighting her thoughts, she gently guides them. She replaces self-criticism with self-correction, and fear with curiosity. Slowly her mind becomes a place of clarity rather than conflict. She is not in a hurry to prove anything. She allows her growth to be natural. Just like a tree does not rush to become tall, but focuses on strengthening its roots. She works quietly on her character. She learns new skills, improves her habits, and accepts feedback without letting it define her worth. When mistakes happen, she does not punish herself forever. She studies them, learns from them, and moves forward lighter. Her emotional strength becomes visible in difficult moments. When life is unfair, she does not become bitter. When people are unkind, she does not become similar to them. She understands that pain is a part of life, but negativity does not have to be. So she chooses forgiveness when possible, distance when necessary, and peace whenever available. She is careful with her time. She knows that time is the only resource that cannot be earned back. She spends it on learning, meaningful conversations, health, and service. She limits what drains her and increases what nourishes her. Not every invitation deserves her presence, and not every opinion deserves her attention. This selective living makes her calm and focused. When it comes to relationships, she does not chase. She attracts by being whole. She does not beg for respect. She lives in a way that naturally earns it. She listens more than she speaks and understands more than she argues. Love for her is not about losing herself but about growing together. As the world moves forward, noise will increase, competition will rise, and expectations will multiply. In such a time, inner stability will become a superpower. A woman who knows how to stay balanced in unbalanced situations becomes a source of strength for herself and for others. If you want to become that woman, begin with small steps. Sleep on time. Speak kindly to yourself. Keep promises you make to your own heart. Learn something new every day. Let go of what you cannot control and work sincerely on what you can. Over time, you will notice something beautiful. Your confidence will no longer depend on praise. Your happiness will no longer depend on circumstances. And your value will no longer depend on validation. It will live quietly within you, steady and strong, like a deep ocean that remains calm even when the surface is disturbed. Most people spend their lives trying to be noticed. They adjust their behavior, hide their weaknesses, and decorate their personalities just to fit into someone else's expectations. But there is a quiet truth many discover too late. The more you try to become acceptable to everyone, the further you move from becoming meaningful to yourself. A high-value woman understands this early. She chooses sincerity over performance and depth over display. She does not wake up every morning asking, "How can I impress the world?" She asks, "How can I improve myself?" This simple shift changes everything. Instead of chasing approval, she chases growth. Instead of measuring her worth by compliments, she measures it by her consistency, her honesty, and her effort to become better than yesterday. She learns to be comfortable with silence. Silence in conversations, silence in her room, silence in her mind. In that silence, she hears her true needs and her real dreams. While the world is busy shouting instructions, she listens inwardly. This is where her clarity is born. Her confidence is gentle, not aggressive. She does not compete with other women, she celebrates them. She knows that another person's success does not reduce her own possibilities. Comparison for her is a thief of peace, not a source of motivation. So she walks her own path at her own speed, with respect for others and loyalty to herself. She also accepts that life will not always be kind. There will be rejection, delay, misunderstanding, and failure. But she does not allow these experiences to make her cold. Instead, they make her wiser. She understands that bitterness is easy, but kindness requires courage. And courage practiced daily becomes her quiet power. She is disciplined with her habits because she knows that character is built in ordinary moments. How she speaks when she is tired, how she behaves when she is angry, how she treats people who cannot benefit her, these moments shape her real identity. She may fall sometimes, but she never becomes comfortable staying down. Growth for her is not optional, it is a responsibility. She values her energy deeply. She does not give unlimited access to people who bring chaos, disrespect, or confusion into her life. She learns that protecting her peace is not selfish, it is wise. When her inner world is healthy, her outer world naturally becomes more stable. As time moves forward and the world becomes more demanding, this kind of woman becomes rare. Not because she is perfect, but because she is intentional. She chooses her thoughts carefully. She chooses her words gently. She chooses her actions responsibly. If you wish to become such a woman, begin with honesty. Admit where you are weak without feeling ashamed. Improve without announcing it. Let your growth be visible through your behavior, not your declarations. One day, you will realize that your presence itself brings calm to rooms, clarity to conversations, and strength to difficult moments. And that is when you will understand. True value is not something others assign to you. It is something you build quietly, patiently, and courageously within yourself. And as you walk this path, remember this: the world will always try to measure you by numbers, appearances, or applause, but your true worth is invisible to the eyes. It lives quietly in your character, your choices, and the peace you carry within. Build yourself like a tree, strong roots first, gentle branches later. Over time, storms may come, challenges will arrive, but your inner strength will remain unshaken. That calm confidence, that silent courage, that unwavering self-respect, this is the kind of value that lasts beyond trends, beyond praise, beyond circumstances. Carry it with grace, nurture it daily, and you will not just exist in the world, you will illuminate it.